In the thing. Don't do that.
So guys, here we are. This is Elmina Castle in Cape Coast. So we're going to be doing a tour. If you don't know what Elmina Castle is or was, I believe that this is the only slave castle left here in Ghana. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. And this is the port where they would keep some of their slaves and also ship them off, because it's right near the sea over there. So we're going to have the tour of Elmina Castle. Okay, so here we are in the courtyard. Now, the guy right at the back who's talking with the yellow top on, he was our tour guide for the day, and his name was called Gideon. Here he's giving us a history about Elmina Castle before taking us through the different rooms. Although I did record this part, when I played it back, it was quite echoey, so you couldn't hear him, hence the voiceover right now.
This wood here, and the one that side, the second one, they are the two main original beams by the Dutch. Local red oak, the rest are new. Red bricks by the Portuguese, yellow bricks by the Dutch from Holland. They brought them to balance their ships. In return, were the captives. There was a program held over here last 4 or 5 years ago. Reenactment of the slave trade and exhibition. People volunteered to sleep in this room for one night to experience how our ancestors went through. And because the captives were half naked, those who slept here for the program used this the white cloth on the floor to cover themselves to demonstrate. With the oil lamps over here, this will represent the past. As for the size of the wall, the thickness of the wall, none of the captives escaped over here. Once you come in, that's the end. Either you survive or you die.
So here we are. This is the female slave dungeons. And we're with a group here, tour group.
$150 women were kept over here for a month, 2 or 3 months. They are still in their various rooms, depends on the arrival of the ships, how often the ships will come. Buckets were placed at various corners for them to ease themselves. Not all the captives were from Ghana. It got to a point that some of the captives were weak, they could not even walk for the matter of the danger.
So now we're all moving on to this place, which is called the Room of No Return. So our guide is going to explain.
This access here, when the ships had arrived, the strong female captive, those who could survive through all that conditions, they made to pass here to the Room of No Return, where they were shipped outside to different destinations for them to work in their various mines, plantations, and cotton farms. There are some iron bars over here to prevent accidents. There were steps right here. We just remove the steps. Whenever the reservoir is full, the water passes through the drainage, it just runs to the sea. The room is very dark. That's the nature of the room. We are going inside.
Why are we not? There's no one moving. Okay, it's a bit dark down here, guys, so if you can't see anything, I'm sorry. Oh my lord. Wow.
One step down. Yes.
I can't believe this is even real.
We are now in the Room of No Return. That's the gate of no return. It is no more. Many of the captives, they broke down in tears over here.
That's the iron gate where they would then go to their ships. And where they were going, they wouldn't know. This is such a small entranceway, and they were going 2 by 2, the guy was saying. because by that point they've been here for so many months, they were skinny enough to fit through this teeny weeny door. Jesus. And this is things that people have left here. And now we're going to go back the tiny entranceway that we came in from. This is how tiny it is, guys. Oh God, here we go. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Guys, this is the governor's room. So obviously there's a lot of wear and tear because this whole castle is very, very old. But this room that we're currently in, so this room, or this room, yeah, check this, or this room here, and this second room over here, and there's another room over there, 2 rooms and a living room were for the governor. And the dungeons and what have you that we went through, that was all for the slaves. Governor's got light, views of the sea, ventilation. And then this door as well here, this was his escape door in case of an attack or if he needed to run away. The door is locked so he can't go through it, but if you go through that door, it leads you straight out into the sea, and that was his getaway. May God forgive him. Where does this one lead to?
To the female section, and when the governor wanted to select one, we stand over there, the lady will come through this access.
Oh, okay. So these are the steps that the governor will make his choice, and the woman will come up here and go to those rooms up there that we went through. So he will stand up here, and that's the courtyard, and here's where he would make his selection of which woman he wanted to abuse, and then they'll come up that staircase that I just showed you, and then he'll have his way. So for anyone asking, that's the reason why I said what I said in the previous scene, may God forgive him. It's probably from the walls.
Condemned cell, condemned. For the difficult male captive, those who tried to escape, like the freedom fighters, the rebellious ones, were kept over here. They were starved to death, no food, no water. None of the captives came here and went back alive. That's why you have the symbol outside, the skull and the crossbones. It's already some by the Dutch. The holes within the door, they are just peepholes to see whether those are dead or not.
Okay, so there were many rooms that we viewed inside Elmina Castle. I didn't capture every single room. However, there was one room that I found incredibly interesting, and that is this room here. Now, this room was an active worshipping church, and I find it interesting, and not in a good way, the fact that these individuals claimed to be Christians, but were still treating their fellow human being like wild animals. I mean, the horrors that went on within the walls of this castle, absolutely heartbreaking. If you do decide to visit Ghana, I would encourage each and every single one of you to visit Elmina Castle. This was my first time here, and believe me, this is not something that I'm going to forget. What you're seeing now is what the outside of Elmina Castle looks like. Very, very different from how it was hundreds of years ago when the castle was very much so active. And I'm now going to leave you with this placard that is in the entrance courtyard of Elmina Castle. And I hope, wish, and most definitely pray that humanity never, ever repeats something like this ever again.